Hello, hello, and welcome back to another Whitebox Wednesday with XpertVR. Evan Sittler here, co-founder of XpertVR, to walk you through this whitebox. So this whitebox here is of the NYPD 99th Precinct. If you know what that is, it is from the TV show Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's one of my favorite TV shows at the moment. Been watching it for a few years, and so thought it'd be fun to make this whitebox. And I'll walk you through some of my ideas in a second. But to take a step back, a white box, if you don't know, is basically what you see here. A bunch of gray boxes, some gray different items around, maybe some people, but all grayed out, nothing really functional inside of the space. And for us as simulation developers, or as well for game developers, you create these white boxes so that every stakeholder involved, that includes everybody within the company, but especially all the stakeholders outside of the company, so any industry experts that we're bringing in to talk about training, make sure all learning outcomes are correct inside of the simulations we build, they can step into this type of environment, or at least see this type of environment, and know that we have the layout right, know that things are the right size compared to real life, make sure that everything is correct for the learning outcomes that they're trying to convey. And that's especially important as we move throughout the project, so that we don't get 2 months, 3 months, or more into a project and then realize there's something wrong with the environment and have to redo a lot of things. So we create these for all simulations that we build and walk all of the industry experts that we work with through them. So let me walk you through this 99th Precinct white box. So if you watch the show, they always enter from the elevator here, or sometimes the stairs, but usually the elevator. So here I am now down to the height that I would be if I was actually in this environment. Fortunately, I can't walk around in here, so I will kind of pull myself around in how this works and how this software works. And by the way, this is ShapesXR. I did a Metaverse Monday video on this a while back. Basically here, we've designed the full bullpen where everybody would be sitting. We have Gina over at her desk there, maybe Terry getting some yogurt out of the fridge. We have the captain back here, have the meeting room that they have all their meetings in, got the interrogation room and the viewing area back here, holding cell, the break room. Obviously a lot more that we could add here to make it even more lively, but gives a good idea of what it looks like. And you can see I just use this blueprint to roughly put everything together, but you don't need the blueprint to create these types of white boxes, although it is helpful. But what are some things that we would notice in here? So maybe we would bring in some industry experts, and the first thing they might notice is these chairs look a little big compared to how tall they should be to the desk. Very minor, but it's something we might notice. So then we would want to go in and edit the size of these chairs and place them, and then we could edit all of the chairs to be that size. And so now we fixed that problem, and we're not going to run into that months down the road. Other issues might be that if we're having a teaching simulation, we don't maybe need this area over here in the meeting room, or maybe we're not doing interrogations. We're only putting people into holding cells and talking to them out here. So this way we have this whole environment. We could say, let's cut out this area, let's cut out this area, because we don't need that for the learning outcomes of the simulation. So that's kind of how this would work and how we would have meetings in this space. But what are some ideas that I have for this space? So why I built this out is because I think there's a few different things that the property owners, the license owners of Brooklyn Nine-Nine could do if they were to build a virtual reality simulation like this. So number one, at XpertVR, we have this tool called the Conversation Matrix tool. And basically with this tool, I can't really show it off here, but with this tool, we would have conversations with avatars. So let me get down here beside Terry. I'm probably shorter than Terry. So as a fun thing that the studio that owns Brooklyn Nine-Nine could do is you could have avatars of all the characters that look realistic in this environment, hanging out like they normally would or working like they normally would, and fans of the show could walk into this environment, walk up to them and have a conversation, ask them about themselves, have them answer some questions. And with the conversation matrix tool that we've built, this would be like a conversation tree. So basically, I would say hello, and then Terry would respond hello back, and then it would give me multiple options. Do I want to ask, how's your day going? What's your most pressing case at the moment? How are Cagney and Lacey doing, his two kids that he has on the show? Things along those lines, questions they could ask, and then it would take you down a conversation tree. We're also now looking at how we can incorporate artificial intelligence. So with AI in the future, you would just have a much more natural conversation. So that's kind of a fun idea for fans to be able to utilize this space. But then once you've built this space once, you can use it again and again in so many other ways. So you might use that for fans, but then you could have actual police officers come in here and they could come over to the interrogation room and watch professional interrogation. Or they could actually do the interrogation and practice it in the same way that you're having a conversation there as a fan. You could have a very similar conversation with a criminal and have to interrogate them, or at least a suspect, and interrogate them in that way. Similarly, you could come over here and you could practice your speaking skills as a leader or captain or somebody doing their sergeant's exam or lieutenant's exam could come here and speak to the classroom and practice their speaking skills and overcoming different issues and problems. Then in this room, if you were the captain here, you could have different employees come in with different issues throughout the day, and you have to solve those issues, have difficult conversations, possibly fire somebody. All of the practice that allows you to be a captain in the real world. And this could be used for people that are about to become captains, or just for police that want to continuously be training their skills so that they're ready when the opportunity presents itself. Beyond that, there's so many other things that this space could be used for, whether that be redesigning a police station if they were trying to knock down some walls and redesign the layout. Something like this could be used to visualize that and make sure everybody's on board. It could be used as well for other types of games if we wanted to clear out this section, and once a year around Christmas we have some type of Christmas party in this virtual environment. Basically what I'm getting at is, and what I've said again and again here, is by creating this 3D virtual space, there's so many different use cases that you can have for it. So for a company or a production studio like those behind Brooklyn Nine-Nine or other TV shows, being able to recreate this allows them a lot of possibilities for being able to plan for shooting, making sure they have the right layout for what they're filming, even knocking out walls where it's actually a set and they want to set up where their cameras should go. And then they can use it as advertising for their community and for their fans, and then go even further to lend it out for training purposes and so many other purposes as well, where really it's just a win-win-win around where everybody's benefiting. So I hope you like this kind of Whitebox Wednesday, our second one that we're releasing, and just kind of having a fun time designing some white boxes for things that I'm interested in, and really want to get some of what you're interested in the comments below, or sending us messages so that we can build out other white boxes around your ideas. Hopefully you have a great Wednesday, and looking forward to seeing your ideas.